What is going on, Ive Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about something interesting. A new diet that is all the rage and gaining in popularity. And it actually tried to take a lot from intermittent fasting, and it's called Metabolic Confusion. And we're going to go ahead and break that down in this video. Stay tuned. Alright guys, not going to bog you down, but if you want to buy my jump rope, it's only $16.50. You can click on the top right hand corner of this video or down in the description box below. Once again guys, thank you for your support. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Let's talk about the Metabolic Confusion diet. Now, of course, there's always new diets that come out. There's the intuitive eating, there's even intermittent fasting, there's if it fits your macro, there's the keto diet. There's so many different diets that come out, but rarely do they grab on. Sometimes they grab on because of scientific evidence, as is the case with intermittent fasting, for example, with the multitude of studies that we've gotten over the years, confirming so many health and weight loss benefits that come with intermittent fasting. Sometimes it just grabs on because of its uniqueness and what it actually is trying to do, its premise, so to speak. And I think that that's what's happening with metabolic confusion. Now, what is metabolic confusion? I'll break it down for you right now. Metabolic confusion is simply having cycles or chunks of time or days where you're eating very high calorie and then you're eating low calorie, but not very low calorie, just low calorie. For example, you might eat one day 1,300 calories, but the next day you'll eat 2,400 calories or 3,000 calories. And you can cycle this however you like, but it seems that with this system, with metabolic confusion, the majority of the days throughout the cycle, you are eating lower calories than you are eating higher calories. And this helps you lose weight without having to consistently think about, your calorie intake. You just know that you have days that you can indulge in more and days that you have to make sure you eat a certain amount of calories. And the premise for metabolic confusion diet, which makes it unique, is that because you're constantly doing this back and forth, you are confusing your metabolism and keeping it from doing metabolic adaptation. So in other words, adaptive thermogenesis, which is where your body, because of the reduction in calories, also reduces its metabolic output and energy expenditure to try to match the calories that you are consuming. And that is metabolic adaptation, your body adapting to the reduction in calorie intake when you are losing weight. This is an issue that everyone sees whenever they lose weight. And what metabolic confusion diet is trying to do is trying to thwart that off, because you're eating high calories and then low calories and then high calories and then low calories, but with a totality of being at a net negative energy balance. So you're at a caloric deficit for the entire month cycle, for example. So you will be losing weight, but your metabolism won't be adapting to that weight loss. Now, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm here to tell you that there are no scientific evidence to prove that you can actually confuse your metabolism by having one day of high calories, one day of low calories, one day of high calories, 2 days of low calories. There isn't a study that shows that. Now, there's something called reverse dieting, but you need a longer span of time consistently being at a specific calorie intake. So you need to, for example, do 2 weeks of eating at maintenance and then about 2 weeks eating low calorie so that you can burn calories, and overall making sure that you are at a caloric deficit. It's going to take longer if you use reverse dieting to get to your goal, but it's trying to combat metabolic adaptation as much as possible. Now, this diet is also called calorie shifting. And the reason that's important is because the very limited amount of studies that we have, they are called calorie shifting studies. They're not called metabolic confusion. But trust me when I tell you that what metabolic confusion is doing is calorie shifting. And there is a study with calorie shifting that shows promise in terms of adherence, but not in the way that you think. The participants' metabolisms didn't change, but they did notice that those who were doing calorie shifting stuck to the diet better, as only 15% fell off from that group versus 36% that fell off from normal calorie restriction, as that was the control group. Now, what they use to try to prove that metabolic shifting is good are unfortunately intermittent fasting studies, but they fail to realize that you can't compare intermittent fasting to this, even though yes, you are doing something like alternate day fasting is shifting your calories, but you're shifting it to zero. And that in and of itself has a lot of benefits and hormonal activations that just won't happen if you're eating 1,400 calories or 1,500 calories and then 3,000 calories. It just won't happen. And there wasn't any weight loss difference in that study between the control group and the calorie shifting group, but the calorie shifting group did report that they were less hungrier than the caloric restriction group. And keep in mind, they made sure that the calorie intake was the same. So people are jumping on this metabolic confusion train kind of like a separate or a sidestep to intermittent fasting, which is fine. However, what it is proposing it does, it has not proven to do. It cannot confuse your metabolism. And if you start to lose weight, your metabolism is still going to go down to compensate. It's going to try to pull you into your body set point. If you're below 190 pounds and your body set point is 190 pounds, it's going to try to make you gain weight. If you're above 190 pounds and your body set point is 190 pounds, it might actually get you to lose weight. And just the fact that you reduce weight overall makes your body start to adapt and then burn less, and it actually slows down your basal metabolic rate. So this diet doesn't do that, but based on the studies that we have, and there are very limited, it just shows that there is a possibility for someone to be able to adhere to this diet versus just caloric restriction. But keep in mind that this study was only done within about a 10-week period, so we don't even know what it would be for adherence. And also, the way that metabolic confusion is done is in cycles and chunks, not continuous. And I already see that as a downfall, because the only way to be successful is if you can select a diet that you can adhere to for the rest of your life. Yeah, you might get off of it one day or 2 days or 3 days or 1 week or something, but you have to pick something that's the rule and everything else is just the exception for the rest of your life. Because if not, you will go back to where you were if you were trying to lose weight. Remember guys, the problem isn't weight loss. The problem that we actually have is weight regains. A lot of people can lose weight. Many people cannot keep that weight off. So when looking for a diet, the number one thing that you need to focus on is what you can do for the rest of your life. Hopefully this video was informative for you if you wanted to know more about metabolic confusion. Since it's a new diet and they're trying to kind of pull from intermittent fasting, I felt obligated to make this video for you. And of course, as always, I want to thank my patrons from my Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and put their name